back with the Racing for Kids YouTube channel, our Christmas and holiday episode here with Children's Hospital of Michigan. We have James Hinchcliffe, our IndyCar driver, and then we also have Sinead from the Children's Hospital of Michigan. So Sinead, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the Children's Hospital?
Absolutely. My name's Sinead. I'm one of the child life specialists who works here at the hospital. It's our job to help kids cope with hospitalization and help make the hospital an easier place to be. And one way we do that is doing fun events like this so kids can meet different folks like race car drivers.
Great. Thanks so much. And James, can you give a little background for us about yourself, as this will be going out to everyone at the Children's Hospital of Michigan here with our little Racing for Kids episode?
Yeah, well, so my name's James Hinchcliffe, and I'm an IndyCar driver from Canada. I've been driving IndyCars for about 10 years now, and through my racing, I've had the chance to work with Racing for Kids a lot, and it's a fantastic organization. It's been a lot of fun meeting a lot of you guys, a lot of kids along the way. So I'm super happy to be here, and hopefully we can have a little fun today.
Okay, great. Well, thank you both. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to interview James, Sinead, and I with some questions that all the kids have submitted. So here we go. James, are you ready? Here we go. How old are you?
So I actually just turned 34 a few days ago.
Well, happy birthday. That's great. Sinead, your turn.
Yes, yeah, happy belated. The question I have next for you is, how did you learn to drive a car that fast?
It's like anything. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of hard work. I started racing go-karts when I was 9 years old, and I was 24 before I ever drove an Indy car. So there was a lot of time in between there where I was practicing and then learning how to be better and drive faster. So it definitely takes a lot of time to learn how to drive fast like that.
I bet.
So one of the questions that came in is, how many buttons are on that steering wheel on the Indy car?
It's a great question. So the steering wheel almost looks like a video game controller. There's probably about a dozen buttons that are on it, and it lets us do all sorts of things, from talking on the radio to our pit crew back in pit lane, to using the overtake button to give us a little extra power to try to make a pass. There's the neutral button if we want to get the car out of gear, the pit lane speed control button, so that way we're only doing the speed limit in pit lane and no faster, and a bunch of other ones as well. We can adjust a lot of things on the wheel. So while driving fast, you still have to be able to focus on some of these other buttons and the things that they do, and be able to hit them and use them in the right order when you need to. So there's a lot of thinking going on at the same time.
Awesome.
That sounds definitely complicated for sure. I'm going to stick with my theme of speed and ask you, what's the fastest you've ever gone?
Great question. So the fastest that I've ever gone would be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where one day in practice I got clocked doing 241 miles an hour.
Wow.
Wow.
Not slow.
No, I would not describe that as slow. No.
Well, moving on to a more personal question, do you have any pets?
I do. I'm a very proud pet owner. I've got 2 dogs. So my wife and I have a 6-year-old cockapoo named Lucy, and then we've got just a 1-year-old Bernedoodle named Weller. And we're big dog people, and we love traveling with our dogs and taking them on walks and playing fetch with them. So yeah, those are our pets.
Do they get along?
For the most part, yeah. Like I said, Lucy's a little bit older, a little calmer. Weller's still a puppy, so he just wants to play at all times. And Lucy wants to play when Lucy wants to play.
Awesome.
And then from me, I know that here at the Children's Hospital of Michigan, our kids love when there are fun things on the menu to order each day. So with that, what do you like on your pizza?
Ooh, great question, because pizza is my favorite food. And I'm old school, I'm classic, just cheese and pepperoni. That's all pizza needs. Anything else is too much. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the original pizza. Just leave it alone. It's perfect as it is.
That's a very respectable answer. I like that.
If you could have a superpower, what would that superpower be?
I think I'd want to be able to fly. I think that would be pretty cool. Driving fast is cool, but being able to do everything that I'm doing on the road, also up in the air, that would really help. I also hate traffic. So flying would make that a little bit less of a problem.
Very good.
All right. And then if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
If I could live anywhere in the world, I would want to live up in northern Ontario. So I'm originally from Toronto in Canada, and just a little bit north of Toronto, there's an area called Muskoka. And my family has had a cottage on a lake there for a long time. Cook knows Muskoka well, and it's I loved going there as a kid, and I still love going there now with my wife, and my family, and friends. And if I could live anywhere, that's where I want to live.
Muskoka is very beautiful. That's a good choice.
Yes, great choice. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color, well, I mean, that race car behind you, the orange on that's pretty darn nice, I gotta say. But if I had to pick my favorite of all time, it would be red. And I'm pretty sure I get that from the Canadian flag, which is red and white. So back home, there's a lot of things red that are Canadian. So that's why I kind of tend towards red.
Awesome.
Very nice. I'm going to take you back a little bit now. When you were a kid, what cartoons were your favorites to watch?
Oh, wow. Great question. You know what? So I really liked watching the show Animaniacs, which I just recently found out they're starting again and is actually out again. I liked watching Bugs Bunny. What other cartoons did I like? I was kind of just on the tail end of Pokemon. I was just a little I was just kind of getting out of cartoons and I was really taking off. So maybe for like a year or two, I was into Pokemon. But yeah, those are probably my favorite ones.
Well,
very cool. I can get on Team Animaniacs with you for sure.
Yeah, cool.
They're all coming back. It's very exciting. What about your favorite toys? What are the kind of toys you played when you were growing up?
I definitely liked video games when I was a kid. But I also liked some simple stuff. Like I loved playing with yo-yos. I really liked yo-yos when I was a kid. I loved like skipping rope and other things that kept you active and things you could do outside. Like I loved playing soccer with my brother. So yeah, if I was indoors, I was either probably playing with Nerf guns with my brother or video games with my brother. And outdoors, we play soccer and tennis and yeah, we just try to have a nice mix of both indoors and outdoors.
Great.
Nice. So we are starting to get into the swing of the holiday season here. So we're wondering, what are your plans for the holidays?
Well, obviously, 2020 is a bit of a different year for everybody, but Becky and I, our families are all up in Canada, and we're allowed to travel up there to go see them. So we're going to keep it small and keep it a short trip, but we're going to go up and see both of our parents and our brothers and sisters for Christmas. So it'll be nice to get up there and see all the family.
Very cool.
Well, will you be able to bring the dogs with you up to Canada?
Absolutely. Yeah, we drive from Indianapolis, so it's only about an 8-hour drive, which isn't too bad. And so we load the car up with all the luggage and for Christmas, all the presents, and then we throw the dogs in and we road trip up. It's usually pretty fun.
Well, one of the questions was, what do you get your dogs for the holidays? Do they get any gifts?
You know what? They get gifts every day. They're the luckiest dogs on earth, Becky's always running out and buying them more bones and more toys and more treats. So I can't think of anything they don't already have, but I'm sure they'll still get more for Christmas.
Okay, great.
And here at Children's Hospital of Michigan, we work really hard to create some fun opportunities for patients and families during the holiday season who are here with us. So we're wondering what your favorite kind of holiday season memory is.
Oh, wow. I remember, there's so many. I love Christmas time. That was always a big deal at my house. My mom really loves Christmas and always would try to make it a big deal and make it really special. And one of the things we used to do when we were kids that I always really loved was we would build gingerbread houses. And so, my mom would buy 3 of them, one for each, my brother, my sister, and I. And we spent a whole afternoon just building them and then a whole evening eating them. They were only built for about an hour, and then we started breaking into them and eating them. But that was always kind of a fun holiday thing that I remember when I was a kid and getting to do with my family.
Very cool.
That's so nice. Will you be doing gingerbread houses up in Canada this year? Bring it back?
We might have to do that. Now that we're talking about it, I think I might have to come back.
Yeah, well, if you take some pictures and then we can share them with the children, I'm sure they'd appreciate
Good.
that.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Well, one of the questions that we always ask at the end, and we've had this series going on this year for 2020, since we haven't been able to come in person to visit, but it came from a 3-year-old, and her simple question is, are you silly?
You know what, that's a tough question, I think, for people to answer about themselves sometimes.
Mhm.
But I bet if you asked pretty much anybody that knows me, they would say yes, that
Yes.
I absolutely am.
Yes.
So I would agree with that, but I think a lot of people would say I am. And you know what? That's the best way to be.
That is the best way to be. That's great. Well, I just want to know if there's any final thoughts, Sinead, from the Children's Hospital of Michigan about the holiday season, or any other questions that you might have for James?
I just want to thank both of you, James particularly. Thank you for taking time out to answer some questions, to help our kids learn a little bit more, and to still create fun opportunities to do special events like this, even if we're doing it virtually. So I'm just really appreciative, and thanks for taking the time to do it.
Of course, thanks for having me, and very happy holidays to all the kids watching. Hope Santa treats you all well, and thanks for having me on.
Great. Well, thanks, James. We at Racing for Kids can't thank you enough, and all the hospitals that we visit, whether it's in person or virtually, and hopefully we'll be able to come see you soon, Sinead, in 2021. And you all have a great holiday. Thanks so much. Drive safe, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.